Have you ever started a new diet on a Monday, full of hope, only to find yourself right back where you started by Friday? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. And here's the secret. It's not about a lack of willpower. It's about psychology. So today, we're going to unpack what it really takes to make a dietary change that actually sticks for good. Let's get into it.
This is the classic struggle, right? Knowing what you're supposed to do is one thing, but actually doing it, day in and day out, consistently, that's the really hard part. And it turns out there's a very real scientific reason for that.
And hey, it's not just a feeling. Science backs this up. This quote from a recent study basically confirms what so many of us have experienced. You lose some weight, but then slowly but surely, you end up right back where you started. So why does this happen? Well, it's not about being weak. It's about where the journey begins.
So, if it's not about willpower, where do people who succeed actually start? Well, you might be surprised to hear it's rarely about fitting into a smaller pair of jeans. For real, lasting change, the journey almost always starts with something much deeper, what you might call a wake-up call.
Just listen to this from Alan, who was part of a study on this very topic. This really gets to the heart of it. The most powerful reason to change isn't a future goal. It's a present pain. It's that deep, profound desire to just escape feeling sick and uncomfortable all the time. That is a real wake-up call.
And it doesn't have to be some huge, life-threatening illness either. As another participant, Danica, shared, sometimes it's that daily, grinding discomfort that finally makes you say, you know what, I've had enough of this. It's about wanting to reclaim your basic quality of life.
So, what this all boils down to is this. Real, lasting change is almost never fueled by a number on a scale. It's fueled by a powerful internal drive to simply feel better, to be able to live your life without being held back by your own body. Okay, so once that fire for change is lit, what's the next step? Well, it's not grabbing the latest diet book off the shelf. For people who succeed, it's about becoming a detective in their own health story. It's an investigation.
Alan's quote here just perfectly captures that aha moment. It's that sudden realization that the food you put in your body is directly connected to how you feel every single day. For so many people, connecting those dots is a total game changer.
And that realization, it just kicks off this whole journey of self-education. People start watching documentaries, they're reading books, they're Googling their specific conditions. One participant even called it going down a rabbit hole of learning about nutrition. They're not just looking for a meal plan, they're hungry for answers.
And this is so important. This isn't about someone else telling you what to do. It's about you, for yourself, finally understanding why these changes matter. And that understanding, it creates a sense of personal ownership and control that is absolutely crucial for sticking with it long term.
Okay, so you've got the motivation and you've got the knowledge, but there's still this inner battle that every single one of us has to face. So now let's get into the science of what's actually going on inside your brain when you try to change.
So researchers see this as a kind of tug of war between two different systems in your brain. On one side, you have your goal pursuit system. Think of this as your conscious planner brain. It's the part that makes the New Year's resolution. It takes a lot of effort and willpower. But on the other side, you have your habit formation system. That's your autopilot brain. It's automatic, it's effortless, and it runs on triggers and cues without you even thinking about it.
Now, this slide shows a model that scientists actually use to study this inner battle. Don't worry about all the technical details here. The big important takeaway is this. Our conscious goals, our planner brain, they're great for getting us started, but they are not enough. For any change to actually stick, our autopilot, our habit system has to be rewired.
And here's the single most important thing to take away from all the science. You just can't rely on willpower. It's like a muscle that gets tired. It's a finite resource. The real secret, the key to all of this, is building new, healthy habits that can eventually run on autopilot, freeing up all that mental energy.
All right, so how do we do that? How do we actually take control of that autopilot brain? Enough with the theory, let's get practical. Here's a toolkit with a few strategies you can literally start using today.
The very first step is just to pause and ask yourself this one simple question. So much of our eating is totally mindless, right? It's driven by emotions or boredom or just seeing a commercial on TV. Not actual physical hunger. Learning to tell the difference is a genuine superpower.
And here's how you can tell. On one hand, you've got physical hunger. It comes on slowly, you'd be happy to eat a bunch of different things, and you stop when you're full. But on the other hand, you've got a mental craving. That thing hits you like a ton of bricks. It's for one specific food, and you're way more likely to just keep eating past the point of being full. Spotting the difference is key.
So when one of those mental cravings hits, don't try to fight it head-on. Instead, try this technique called surf the urge. First, just notice it. Acknowledge it's there without beating yourself up. Step 2, remind yourself that it's just a feeling, and like a wave in the ocean, it will pass. And then, just wait. Cravings almost always vanish on their own in just 10 to 20 minutes if you can just write it out.
Now, all of these tools fall under a bigger idea called mindful eating. And no, this is not some crazy new diet. It's a skill. It's a practice that helps you break free from that autopilot and actually reconnect with your body's real signals. It's all about being present with your food.
And you can practice this with your very next meal. Just try taking one single mindful bite. Before you eat it, really look at it, smell it, then put it in your mouth and just notice the sensation. Chew it slowly, paying attention to the texture and the taste, and then swallow with your full attention. This one simple act can start to completely rewire your brain's relationship with food.
Now, when you take that deep internal motivation and you combine it with real knowledge and these new mindful habits, something pretty incredible starts to happen. The change stops feeling like a diet you're on, and it just starts becoming part of who you are, your new normal.
And the benefits? They go way beyond whatever problem you were trying to solve in the first place. As Matteo shared, suddenly you have more mental clarity, your moods are more stable, you actually have the motivation to exercise. It's not just about fixing one thing, it's a total transformation of your well-being. So let's just pull this all together. Lasting change is not about having superhuman willpower. It's about building small, helpful daily habits. It's about making choices that align with your deeper values, about how you want to live. And most importantly, it's reinforced every single day by the incredible feeling of just being well.
Look, this is not about a massive, painful overhaul overnight. It's about making small, consistent shifts. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When you look at your own day, what's one tiny cue, one single autopilot moment that you can tweak to start building a new, healthier habit, starting today?